Well, when he first posted, he said it'd be 30 minutes late, 37 after. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and he's not even online. So let's begin. I'm actually going to start with Shanuwani because I'm just curious what your character would think to be doing right now.
Well, she was initially trying to clear Joseph's name, but as soon as she heard about the the escape, yeah, the fact she's just standing there, rather dumbfounded.
So I'm kind of picturing you like you're still like right outside the prison, seeing the evidence of the escape.
Yeah, and she goes, "I trusted him," and she basically kicks the area where he thunder stepped to, and then just she's gonna go look and try and walk away and try and find the rest of the group.
All right, Xavier, would Shanuwani be able to find you if she looked?
I'm not hiding.
Has Shanuwani even met Xavier?
Yeah, we met in the meeting that was on my barony that you know.
Right.
Yeah, and was there when King Rexus turned into a drow.
Yeah, she saved him from those tentacles.
All right. So yeah, Shanuwani, you'd easily be able to meet up with Swift. Everyone else is occupied. Or sorry, Shanuwani, you'd easily be able to catch up with Xavier as he's, I'm assuming, walking westwards towards the Dwarven Forge.
No, they were fixing it at my base.
Oh yeah, that's right. So he would just be outside admiring the progress then. Oh right. Hold on, I gotta unplug all my distractions, otherwise I'll never get in the zone. Let me pull up what I came up with. I think you're gonna like it.
Wait, was it a happy surprise? I thought it wasn't happy.
I mean, I have many unhappy surprises uh, in the past and in the future, but just once, maybe I'll do something a little bit nice.
What is this? Why?
I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of it.
It's just you had no reason to. Did we even say Batman?
No, it was something else.
I love that video. I love the whole music video. So amazing.
but well, Shanawani's gonna go to Xavier, going, "What you messing with?"
Well, a month ago, I was adventuring with an old acquaintance of mine, Malleus. You haven't met him yet, but we went to get an old shopping cart, and a portal opened up, and this aircraft dropped with an illithid in it. So after we killed the illithid, I took the ship so we can investigate it better and maybe fix it up.
Huh? You're right. I didn't meet. I never met this Malleus, and from the way you just described it, I'm probably glad that I didn't, because I don't know what a shopping cart is.
A tiefling who weirdly betrayed his people to sleep with the Drow Queen. I don't know. I don't understand him. I don't understand him yet.
I don't either. And based on what Shorad told me of the bint, probably glad that that I never that I have to wonder what he seasoner.
What happened to Shorad, by the way? I haven't heard from
Oh,
few months.
Shorad's stuck, and I actually got stuck on a certain island, and I would if I would like to enlist your help.
Sure, no, I wouldn't mind.
All right, I can actually guide you to where we need to go if you're filling up to it.
Oh, we're not doing that right now. I have a little things to sort out. If it's on another island, then we need to wait out.
Mm,
But
Uh,
there wouldn't be a trip at all since the Abjur you've met before. She can teleport us there easily.
all right, thank you.
No issues at all, my friend.
Oh. And I'm sure he would be happy to, because he's now for at least for right now he's a drider.
I remember him mentioning he wants to save a rider. Was that you, by any chance?
Yeah, I was turned into one of them by the Drow Queen, and yeah, he ended up we ended up covering up our escape from Illidaranus.
All right.
All right. While you two are talking, you guys get waved over by a very excited-looking dwarf. Gilly is practically jumping out of his boots.
Out of his what?
Out of his boots. Like he's jumping so much, he looks like he'd fly out of his boots.
She goes over and tightens down his shoe, tightens down the laces on his shoes.
Okay. He goes, "All right, Xavier, I think you're gonna like this quite a bit." And he's gonna rush over to the backyard, and you can see what looks like at first a mound of dirt, up until you notice some dwarven runes that you recognize the runes for illusion magic. It looks like it's his version of putting a tarp over a new car, and he looks really excited. So he kicks over one of the runes to break the spell, and then you see this before you.
Oh, whoa, whoa, again.
Looks like a cross between two different war balloons from Avatar.
Well, I couldn't figure out what the tentacles did, so I cut them off. And then I couldn't figure out how it flew. So I just opened up the engine where it was producing crazy amounts of heat, poked a hole in the top so that the fire went upwards, and put a big ass balloon on it.
You're a practical man, I must say, Gilly.
Huh. She goes over. Okay, is it floating off the ground or is it grounded?
It is tethered to the ground right now, but it's got just enough flame going to keep the balloon filled up. Let me show you its features. So he'll go ahead and lower a very futuristic, like sci-fi style, telescoping stairs, like ramp starts to descend. The doors slide open with a whoosh, and you guys are able to get in and investigate. And you can go ahead and click on that link if you want to see this thing's stats. All of you would be familiar with this. He goes, "There was one thing that was capable of launching something. I don't know what it's supposed to launch, but now it launches ballistas. Also, there's a gun that produces this strange green flame. I call it the Arbalester.
This is gonna be a pain in the ass for the Drow Queen, don't you think?
Ha ha ha! I think it could take my Hellfire engine one-on-one.
Let's hope so, my friend. Let us hope so.
And if you take a peek over at the damage threshold on the hull, he's going to slap the interior. This outer shell is so tough, unless you got something going really fast with a lot of power, it's not even going to scratch it.
I'll take your word for it. You don't seem like a man who'd lie about his practice.
I'm far too proud to lie about my equipment.
That's what I thought.
But be advised, while the outer hull is made out of very advanced stuff, the balloon is just a balloon. So if that gets popped, you're all falling to your death. Thought you should know in advance.
But, if we're being honest here, not a lot of our enemies would know about the balloons, so let's hope it stays that way.
The best part is it comes with a GPS, so it can continue traveling without anyone guiding. Just plug in the coordinates and it'll go. Let me show you how it works. And he takes you over to the command center. There's a bunch of holographic screens giving you a whole bunch of information that you can't immediately discern, like, antimatter, 15%, and, other jargon.
Alright, I wouldn't know jack shit about it.
So yeah, just a whole bunch of random sci-fi jargon that you medieval people have no concept of. Like, I don't think any of you would know what a life support system is, but it sounds important, so may as well leave that switched on. He shows you to the control panel, and the control panel has no buttons, just two holes. And he goes, here's how it works. And he just pushes his two hands into the holes, and you can see his forearms start to like flex as he wiggles his fingers inside. And then the whole ship just starts doing random stuff, like windshields flick on. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. It takes some getting used to. Then fans start to blow. Damn it, wrong one. And it finally releases the tether, keeping it to the ground, and you start to float up. He then takes his arms out. Xavier, you're the one who paid for it. You should know how to fly it. Just put your hands in these two arm-shaped slots.
I go ahead and do so.
As you stick your arms in the slots, inside, it's not a sheath. It's almost like a hollowed-out lump of gel. It is very cold and wet, and as you put your arm in, you can feel tiny needle-sized bits of gel starting to stick to your arm. It doesn't hurt, but it prickles and tickles all the way down, and you can feel this gel fusing into your arm. It goes into your skin, under your fingernails, and it's coating you. Every square inch has at least one dot of gel in it. And with every flick, every twitch of every muscle, something happens. Like when you flex your pinky, the windshield wipers come on. If you extend your pointer finger, you go forward, stuff like that.
Right, Xavier will keep a memory of all those things and starts like trying out each finger to try and understand the mechanism.
I would like you to make an investigation check to see how quickly and efficiently you can grasp the controls. Are we going to be here all day, or are we going to be here 5 minutes?
27.
With Gilly's instruction, you're able to very quickly get a grasp of the controls. It takes some getting used to, because literally every twitch of a muscle does something. So if the ship gets rocked while your arms are in here and you fly to one side, there's a very good chance that the ship will suddenly steer, flying to one side.
Good idea that you made it with the GPS you were talking about.
Yeah, I noticed it's a little bit touchy. You're now that you know how to operate it, you're welcome to teach anybody else. It takes some getting used to, but it's almost instinctive in a way.
Well, I'll maybe ask Maximus, or I forgot that elf's name, to maybe stop riding that ship and come help me out with this.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Of course. Well, maybe I'll just try and teach that old elf, Moxel, how to ride one of those so he can be the captain of this ship as well.
I'm not hearing the name. Who do you want to teach to be the captain of the ship?
Moxel.
Who?
Moxie, the fucking elf who was a captain.
Oh, Moxley. Yeah, yeah. So you want to bring him in and teach him?
Yeah, let's do that. Sure, why not?
Okay. When you said elf, I'm like, wait, are you teaching Shanuani?
If Shanwani is willing to learn how to fly this, sure, I'd be willing to teach her as well.
What do you think, Shanuani? Do you want to make an investigation check to see if this takes 5 minutes or all damn day?
Shanwani, you. Or she already did the investigation. She got a 30.
It takes about 3 hours for you to grip the controls, and while you're fiddling with them, there's quite a few close encounters where the engines suddenly just stop and the balloon drops. But you're able to like re-engage it right before you crash into the ground and gently descend and take off again. Xavier, while you're flying, while Shanawani's got her arms in the thing, you're constantly being flung about the cockpit, slamming from one side to the other. And it's at this point you realize there's no chairs and there's no seatbelts. It's just your face flying towards the wall at 60 miles an hour. This sucks.
Yeah, I'll need to. Well, while I'm in here, I might as well just turn into this. As I just turn into a air elemental so I can hover without actually having to be smashed around.
Probably a good idea. You notice that despite yourself being thrown around, Gilly is so short and so stocky and so strong, he's just got one hand pressed up against the wall the entire time and he doesn't budge.
How are you doing this?
I've been on rocky ships my whole life. I've got my sea legs.
This is not a simple rocky ship we're flying.
Ah, don't be a baby. Get your balance.
While I'm hovering, I don't need to get my balance.
Cheater.
Yeah, sure. Say whatever you want. You're just jealous.
You know what we should do? Fly it over the scorpion folk territory.
No, learn from your mistakes.
Never!
We're not doing this, Gilly. You know damn well we're not doing this.
This time we have harpoons. I say we harpoon them back.
I'm trying to keep a well balanced relationship between me and Lancia, so please stop.
Or we could lance Lancia. Come on.
No.
Just a little bit of impaling. Just a tiny bit.
Why do you like the Scorpions folk area so very much?
Because it's beautiful. Haven't you ever seen it from above?
You know what? If you want to see it from above, I'll take you on a ride. With me, not the ship.
Aw, party pooper.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, so, is there anything you want to do while you're joyriding in the ship, or are you just gonna turn it around and set it back?
I'll just put the GPS back on the home and just grab a view. Just look around.
I don't think you've ever been this high before, unless you've been. Oh no, well, you've been an eagle, so you're familiar with this sort of view. But you're very high, and everyone looks like tiny little ants from up here, and it feels very freeing, and it's a lot of fun. You can definitely tell why Gilly would want to go on a joyride, and it's surprisingly fast for being a big ass balloon. There's some sort of propulsion coming through that just a simple balloon doesn't really account for. There's obviously dozens of things on this ship that you do not understand. It looks like everything he didn't understand, he just cut off.
I respect him so much that I hate him.
Like if you take a look at the little sleds, like the little rails on the bottom of the ship, those weren't there before. He just couldn't figure out how to land it, so he bolted ordinary like sled legs to it.
Well, on the joyride, Xavier's just thinking it would be a shame if a giant bronchitis falls on Freya's barony now, wouldn't it? It would be an incident.
Aye, how terrible.
Wouldn't you think it would be awful?
It's powered by farts. Aye, it would suck if someone were to open the door, jump out, and magically transform into a very, very heavy thing.
Yes, it would be so unfortunate if she died by that incident.
Be so humiliating, too.
Exactly my point. But he's just like, nah, I have to do. If I want to end her, I have to do it right. So, yeah, let us land now so we can go and do some stuff.
Alright. So, you land, and are you going to go help Shanawani with her quest?
Well, since I have something I want to do now, plus this Shorad mission, I don't think it's a two-man job. So I'll recommend something to Shana. I'm calling you Sean because I can't pronounce your name. I am so deeply sorry. Uh, Shawnee, you're an elf. So I have this, and I show her the map to the Honeydew Meadows, and I was planning on going there and grabbing the treasure that I heard was found there. Would you like to accompany me?
You with us, my dude?
Okay, so I didn't disconnect.
Yeah, no, I can hear you, Xavier. I think Vesudian's distracted or has a poor connection. Just in case it's a poor connection, I'll go. Oh, okay. He's leaving. He's been occupied.
All right, so
All right, how about now?
Perfect.
yeah, we can do it now.
Okay, she asks, all right, what island again?
No, it's not an island. It's an Elvenwood. I would have sent some of my followers to go get it, but none of them have the emerald cards.
She goes, oh. There is a dead silence from her.
And Rex has been. Oh, please tell me you have an emerald card.
That would have been wonderful to have.
Shanawani is a
Oh,
drow, dude.
What?
as a high elf.
Oh wait, yeah, you're a high elf. So yeah, you would have been born there.
Yeah, so but my character but she was a drider for a good portion of the time. Don't think she would have been able to hold on to a emerald card.
Well, if your ethnicity is elf, then you are welcome in Elvenwood implicitly. It's pretty much everyone else who has to get a card.
Yeah, but they're currently in Rex land.
This is true.
Gonna
I
go.
don't
Excuse.
understand what she's saying. She doesn't have an emerald card, so she technically can't be in Rexland.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're breaking the law right now.
Excuse me. She puts a. She hands Xavier her bow, and she's gonna go straight to Rex and ask for a emerald card.
Right,
He's,
I was so
he's,
confused. um, so Xavier, you're a well-known adventurer that the king, despite his recent outburst, does respect quite a bit. So if you vouch for Shanuwani, he will go ahead and approve her for a emerald card.
yes, of course. Please do.
All right. So, so we don't waste your time, I'm not going to make you pay any gold. With Xavier vouching for you and him being such a well-known and well-respected adventurer, go ahead and add a emerald card to your character sheet.
All right.
And while you were at the King Rex's castle getting a emerald card, Swift, what are you doing?
Give him some time. He's just probably jet lag.
No. Oh, we should probably resolve that. So the king is in the wine cellar. It's his handwriting. He still has the proper stamps and documentation to give you an emerald card. But at the moment, only you guys and a couple of trusted guards are even aware that the king is a drow and he has not made any public appearances. So, Swift, if you want him to come out of the wine cellar and you want to stop posing as him in the public so you can go do other stuff, then you should probably resolve that. So, Xavier, when you last asked the king about reincarnation, he said he was starting to like his drow form, but he said that in a very creepy way that you're not, probably wouldn't 100% be comfortable with. Oh, there's a plan? What's the plan?
What plan?
Oh, where we announced that supposedly the king was assassinated, and see how the pieces moved.
No, because if Freyja discovered that the king is really dead, actually, Joseph escaped, so he might have even killed himself. Like the predicament. It's your guys' call. If you wish to do that, then you're free to do.
Shanawani will ask, "Well, what do you think, Swift?"
You're really gonna call him out like that? I don't actually remember what he said he was doing.
Playing Overwatch with his nephew.
All right. So yeah, you guys have a couple of options when it comes to King Rex. You can say he was assassinated and see what happens. You can reveal King Rex as a drow and one, hope the people believe you, and two, hope that goes over well. Um, you can continue being a changeling and doing everything in his bidding. Oh, or you can be like, this king is kind of a nut job, see Joseph's point of view, and kind of quietly dispose of him.
No, no, no. Be right back.
First it was Overwatch, now it's Warframe. Get your story straight. Just in case Danar watches this recording back, I'm kidding.
I'm back.
Alright.
Well, look, if we wait for the pieces, then Freyja might take the opportunity. And, as stated before, I am not willing to even allow Freyja a zero point 0.1 chance to even get the opportunity to be crowned. So, no, I don't think we should announce the king is dead. Reincarnated, though, that's another story, and I'm willing to do so. If a couple of his high ranking officers vouch for it, I'm sure they would believe them.
Well, there's also the fact that he's holding this the the documentation of his lineage.
It's also worth mentioning he does still have the exact same voice, and despite occasionally losing his shit a couple of times recently, the exact same personality.
I just look at him and I'm just like, by the way, none of your illnesses went into your new body. How do you feel not requiring them?
King Rex is gonna say, well, I actually kind of really like this new body. It feels strong, young, powerful. I'm not in constant pain. I haven't had to take medication all day and it feels great. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna eat, smoke, and drink. That's how I'm spending my afternoon.
Shawnawani goes, I think that would be a very bad idea.
Not only that, Rex, I'm calling you Rex right now. Do you honestly think you're still fit to be king?
Of course I am. It is my blood right.
Alright, let's ignore the blood thing. Do you feel like as a king, not a blood relative, you are fit to be?
Of course I am. Who else would do it?
Well, we can always let the people choose.
What is this? People? Choosing? I've never heard of such a government philosophy. Doesn't exist and there isn't a word for it.
Uh, hmm. It would be great if we had a name for it so we can make it a thing.
That sounds dangerous.
Hmm.
Shawnawani goes, how about we go for a different, this is a bit weird, because was never really much for politics, but how about we go for a middle ground? Advisors.
God damn it.
Point. Swift does have a point.
What are you talking about? He's just not interested in the will of the people and supports a strong military and strong borders. I don't see the connection.
Egypt's last president tried to make Egypt, instead of a presidency type thing, democracy, he tried to make it a kingdom. We're amazing. We evolve, but backwards.
Wait. Back up. Did you just say Egypt slid back into a monarchy?
No. Our last president tried to make Egypt a country led by a king again.
Really? Like that's a real thing that happened? Holy shit.
Like I said, we're cool, man. We're just like amazing. We evolved.
Okay, I don't usually get even remotely political, or at least try not to in a D&D campaign, but holy shit. Okay, first of all, kings are great in like medieval fantasy because they're a lot of fun. You know, one person with ultimate power, even more than a great dictator. But in reality, it's so bad. It's so bad on every level. Abuse of power isn't illegal, it is the law. Like, holy shit, that's so bad.
I know, right? I love the country, man. Just amazing.
Anyway, no, just in case there's even the slightest hint of of doubt, I do not support kings, dictators, or senior trumpet.
Shanawani goes. There is a alternative to going whatever that is in a absolute monarchy.
So, Rexland, just so you are all aware of the political system, because I think uh, Salty Potato is the only one who has actually read this. Currently, Rexland is a constitutional monarchy. There is an absolute king, but there are still rights of the jarls and barons that they've brought before him to sort of reign in his power. Like, for example, they have their own independent standing armies that he does not control. So, it's a constitutional monarchy. What you guys are suggesting, you could do a king elect, which is absolutely a thing. Or if you want to be super progressive, you could even make a proper president if you wanted to. However, you have to go through all the people who are already in power to put something like that through. So I'm 100% to do this. I just want you to be aware that there's going to be resistance if you try to make a major political change.
Yeah, and plus the thing is, can you imagine trying to get all the ballots done?
Uh, by the way, um, Rex, we haven't discussed
You said we haven't discussed, and then you cut off.
we haven't discussed something.
Oh, what is it? Speak, friend.
Well, you know me very well, and thing is, you know, bringing someone back from the dead after Revivify didn't work, you owe me, don't you think?
Well, I do prefer being alive than dead, so in a sense, I suppose. What are you proposing?
Well, one of two options. Since I wouldn't feel right making you drop your position, I'm thinking one of two. Either make me the next in line, other than Frey, of course, and I promise I wouldn't be killing you like she did. Or we could always go for the law of surprise. Since I heard the queen is here again, you might too have a child. Maybe I choose to take that child in the future, who knows?
Well, the law of surprise is a gift that I do not currently possess, and that could be anything. The law of surprise doesn't guarantee you a child. It could be something as minor as a cow, or something as great as a massive swath of treasure.
You do have a point there. Alright, I'll stick with the first option.
By the way, out of character, I don't think you guys ever even convinced him that Freyja tried to murder him, did you? Because, like, we kind of left right after the whole fiasco with Joseph. And since then, I don't think any of you went to the king and kept and informed him what happened. So we should probably do that now.
All right. Oh,
No, no. Oh,
yeah,
by
I'm
the
not
way.
telling him to.
Oh, and by the way, Joseph fled.
What do you mean he fled?
As in he got out of his cell and left.
Well, where did he go? And why aren't you catching him?
Well, she guides him to the spot where there's still a crater where he was.
Oh, where he thunderstepped?
Yeah.
I hate magic so much.
Well, heck, I would say the same, but but I kind of use magic too, sort of. Heck, it's blended in with my bow, and sure, it does. Oh, and you have actually she doesn't know that, so yeah.
So, did you ultimately find that he was guilty?
Well, we found out that he was arrested. He would be arrested, but like I did a no-no and warned him about it ahead of time, thinking maybe it was false. He was falsely arrested.
So, what I'm hearing is you let him know about his arrest, and he is, after agreeing to being arrested, he escaped.
Sounds
Yeah.
guilty to me.
Well, that's not exactly what's called good for him.
Hmm, you're being way too nice here. We already discovered he bought the poison from me. He ended up escaping from his cell. I don't know how you're still trying to defend him.
Well, heck, it's just kind of hard to I don't know, like it's just so many things run inside my head about that and well, when around Shorad, like like ended up we ended up learning that the fallacies of some of these spells, like the zone of truth, while they can tell you the truth, it'll be said in such a way. It can be said in such a way that it ends up giving you the impression of something opposite.
Yes, yes, we know. You've already discussed this before. Doesn't matter. But as the situation is now, the man escaped from his cell after he was accused of murdering the king. So if you really want to trust him, you can go ahead. But unfortunately, I'm smarter than that.
Uh, Haha. But uh, there is another person we can ask about getting Rex back to his normal form.
Oh?
Well, we keep well, tech. It's the one I'm asking you to help, Xavier.
Well, well, it doesn't really matter if we don't even. Well, we kind of know who did it, but I need to convince the king that he was sent by Freyja. So yes, sure. After I convince the king Freya did it, we can go ahead and save Shorad if you think it's that important.
Well, but well, if we can get him back, we can actually get Rex back to his normal form.
I don't understand why the rush. You've been a rider for a long time. It doesn't hurt for him to wait a bit.
Not exactly pleasant either. Have you ever tried laying eggs? Not, not fun.
Well, I could always turn into an eagle and do it that way, but manually, as an orc, no, I never laid an egg.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing.
Hmm. So, Rex, since I want to convince you that Freya did it, before I even ask for you to let me be the next on the throne, I'll do. I want you to summon Freya to the courtroom. Since you are the king, she will respond. And we'll get Morris here. Supposedly by today, he'd have the Zone of Truth ready. Then you ask her to stay for a couple of questions. If she refuses, then we can assume she is guilty. If not, then we ask her the question. If she's free, then we let her go. How about that?
I suppose that makes sense.
All right. Then I suppose Swift can summon her since he's the one currently being you. And I'll go get Maurice right now so he can get the spell.
All right. You will. The king will send a summons. Maurice will wrap up his duties. Um, there's nothing immediately standing in your way, so I'm just gonna fast forward. We're gonna smash cut to the courtroom with Freyja inside. She has a guard of 25 Minotaurs who are currently outside the courthouse. They popped open a portable table and are playing poker.
Of course, because why wouldn't they? Hmm. Hey, Freya.
Hey, Xavier.
I didn't appreciate you returning the gift I sent you. It was very rude of you.
Well, I had to send a message somehow.
Didn't have to kill the messenger, you know. That's usually frowned upon.
Have to or want to?
Yeah, I forgot your spoiled brat. Sorry.
Well, I am the daughter of my father, and he's a very powerful man. I've had a pretty good upbringing, if I do say so myself. I've been slaying polar bears and frost trolls since I was 8 years old. Ah, good times, good times.
Yes, yes. You're an interesting person to say the least. Well, Freya, I'll cut to the chase. The king summoned you since we have a couple of questions we'd like to ask.
By any means.
But of course, it wouldn't be right if we just leave you on ahead and say what you want. So Maurice is here to put the zone of truth on you.
Of course, why not? She looks incredibly confident.
Right? Uh, Maurice, tell me if she tries to resist the spell.
Maurice nods, casts the spell, and gives you a thumbs up.
Freya,
All right. Can
give
I,
me a sec.
Shauna, when he goes, mind if I give it a couple whacks to get things warmed up?
Well, I was simply just gonna ask one question straight on ahead.
Yeah, but typically to confirm a couple things, make sure it. She looks to Freya and going, "What was the name your mother gave you?"
My mother didn't give me a name. My father did. My mother died in childbirth. I guess I was just too strong even as a baby.
Oh, conjectures all. Okay, what was the name your father gave you?
My father named me Freya.
Just Freya?
Just Freya.
All right. Uh, do you know why you're here?
I imagine to ask me some questions under penalty of Zone of Truth.
That is true. Okay. Now, do uh, points to okay, is Swift in Rex's form?
Um, I imagine so, unless he says otherwise. Okay.
Yeah, all right, Shanawani points to Swift, who's looked like Rex. Do you know who that is?
Of course I recognize King Rex.
All right. Okay, this is where I'm going to cut to the chase. Were you involved in any way in a conspiracy to kill King Rex?
Of course not. How could I be? I am nothing but a loyal servant of Rexland and its people, she says with a confident, arrogant smile.
May I ask a question?
You may absolutely ask me questions, Xavier. What you got?
Well, I'll just. Freya, did you make any deals with Joseph?
Of course not. I'd never invite him over to my place. You are all so hostile against me. I wouldn't dream of inviting you. For all I know, you might attack poor little me. I'm very vulnerable, you know.
Shanawani looks at her, going, all right.
Hmm.
Yeah, she will pace back and forth for a bit, and she will go, all right. In any way, did you associate with any of the potential suspects in the conspiracy to kill King Rex?
Of course not. I wouldn't dream of it.
Alright, since we can ask any question, I'm gonna go ahead. Freya, how did you plan on becoming the Queen of Rex City?
Well, I just plan to take over whenever King Rex retires.
Freya,
Yeah.
what do you mean by retire?
I mean when he voluntarily leaves his position of his own free will.
While not under the influence of any potion or spell that might compel him to say otherwise, to say so.
Heavens, no, I wouldn't dream of such underhanded tactics. What sort of devious person do you take me for?
She looks to Maurice. She's telling the truth, right? She's not.
Maurice looks at you and shrugs. He goes, as far as I can tell, the spell is working as intended. And I don't know who this person is, so I don't know why you're so suspicious. I mean, a spell is a spell. It's not like it can be thwarted.
Xavier just gonna.
I'm gonna. Shanawani's gonna go. All right. Tell you what. I got a way to figure this out. She's gonna step into the zone of truth.
Okay.
And she's gonna choose to fail the check so that she has to tell the truth.
Okay.
All right. Ask away.
What's your name?
My name is well, my mother gave me the name Shanawani. Shanawani. I actually forgot my surname. I've been a drider for so long.
Are you friends with the drow called Shorat?
You can say that.
I look at what's his name and I'm just like, did this work?
Maurice will give you the thumbs up, saying, as far as he can tell, the spell is in effect on Shanuwani and on. Almost forgot her name, Freyja.
Just like, alright, I would like to ask one thing to Freya. Are you Freya?
There's a very, very long pause, and she goes, well, who else would I be?
Answer the question. Are you Freya?
My name is Freyja, yes.
Okay.
Are you Freya the Great?
I'm spectacular, if I do say so myself.
Not the
That-
question I gave you. Answer the question. Are you Freyja the Great?
I am very great.
That you are dodging the question.
I don't know
Here's
what you're
the-
implying. I am Freyja, and I am great.
What is your title?
I mean, titles just aren't in vogue right now, you know?
She slaps her.
She slaps you right back. Make a deck save.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
She's a barbarian, my guy. You're an animal.
Alright, now I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Shanin, just Shanin, right?
Correct. Shanawani, you feel your body lose control, your eyes go blank, your eyes roll back in your head, and you just walk out of the room. You then stand next to the Minotaurs for, let's find out how long together.
Fun. You just
16 minutes you just stand and stare at the Minotaurs, completely blank, and they don't seem the slightest bit confused about what you're doing. Yes, it was a charm spell. Oh, fuck, right, you're an elf. Go ahead and roll again. God damn it. Hold on. I need a minute. I need to fuck. Give me like 5 minutes.